Okay guys, today we're going to take a look at a map that was recently updated on the farmingsimulator.com mod hub called Drumard Farm. This is version 1.0.0.3, updated on March 16th, 2017. This map is available for Mac, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. So this map is available for pretty much any platform that you can play the game on. Changes in 1.0.0.3 include fixing the farm BGA silo, fixing some floating trees. They turned missions off on grass fields, lowered animal triggers so dirty areas can be properly cleaned, removed the greenhouse, replaced skips. Not really sure what skips would be implying there. Raised terrain and farm area at the field entrances, widened field openings, um, and added some credits. And they do say that you will all need to start a new save game for this particular update of the map. So some highlights of this map is 2 working farms, one with a grain silo and 2 forestry areas. We have 2 sell points and we have a storage area to store grain if your farm silos fill up, but you're waiting on a good price. Seed and fertilizer point at Arable Farm for, I guess, filling up seeds. Um, all hedges and fences and walls have collisions, so be careful when driving around. Automatic gates and lights on most of the farm and farm buildings. Alright, so let's take a look. So I like to pick my little John Deere Gator for driving around. Let's pop this up and take a look. You can ignore these warning errors. They relate to a mod that we have not activated. Alright, so the map seems to load up clean. We do have gold nuggets on this map. We will get to those in a minute. We start here at our brightly colored yellow house. Have our lawnmower, little garage here. Alright, so it looks like we start right here at our cow area, but before I get ahead of myself, let's take a look at the map. So we have, this is a smaller sized map. We start by owning, it looks like, several fields. Looks like, let's clean off some of these so we can see better. So it looks like we own fields 33, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then it looks like we own grass fields 9, 10, 11, 12, 32, and 27. So, and 34. So it looks like we start out owning a fairly decent amount of land. Looks like we own some of the smallish fields on the map. Okay, we have our standard crops, nothing extra. On hard mode, we start out with 0 crops in the silos. Overall, we have decent prices. All of our equipment is fairly new, and it looks like we have quite a substantial amount of equipment. I like to take out a loan. I like to max out my loan when I do these first impression videos because I like to buy some animals as we look around. We start with 0 animals, 0 sheep, pigs, or cows, nothing in the various feed troughs. And our silo capacity is 250,000 liters. Okay, let's look at our starting equipment. So we start with 3 tractors ranging 143 horsepower to 240 horsepower. We have a telehandler front loader, telehandler, some buckets, pallet forks, bale forks, the smallish New Holland harvester with a grain header trailer, tipper, plow, cultivator, seeder, fertilizer spreader, slurry spreader, manure spreader, mower, front mower, tedder, windrower, forage wagon, bale wrapper, round baler, our water, and our TMR mixer. So we start with quite the list of starting equipment. You won't need to be buying anything anytime soon, and all of the equipment starts with very low usage, if any, so you won't have a whole bunch of maintenance costs to deal with. So here we have our tedder in here, parked in here with all this equipment. We have a very tight parking job. I would like to meet the person that could park these things back this way once they're done. Here we have a fuel point and a water point. So I had watched the video by Scuderia, who is the map author, and this area is for our wool pallets. The sheep are quite a ways up here. We will just go ahead and run up this dirt path to the sheep area. So the wool pallets spawn quite a ways away from the sheep area. Here's where we buy our sheep. So here we have our sheep in this large grassy area with our grass will go in there and our water will go in our bathtub over there. While we're over here, we have quite a large area where we can place something down here like a working sawmill, giving its proximity to this large grass area. There are gold nuggets there. I'm not going to pick them up at this point in time. There will be plenty of time for that here in a bit. Let's just jump back here to our main farm area. So these gates do open automatically if they open at all. So this gate is static, but this gate is not. So you'll see as you approach it, it will open and it will close automatically. Here we have our TMR mixer. Here's where the manure will appear. Now this is quite interesting, and I like this approach. This is where your liquid manure for your cattle's spawn or produce, and I assume as you get more and more of that level will rise up. So this is a true manure pit, just dug out of the ground. Here we have our old manure spreader and our new manure spreader right over there. So some nice decoration. Now, interesting enough, this is our BGA Silo King. On this map, you'll see there is no other BGA anywhere else on the map. This is our map BGA right here, right at the farm. Here's where our digestate is going to come out for the BGA. And here is our sole silage pit. So again, we have our automatic fields, our automatic gates for our fields that open up. So this is our only silage pit on this map. So here we have our cow pasture. This is where we have, you can like put your grass here if you like to feed grass separate from your silage or TMR. Now I will admit this is not my first look at this map. I had taken a look at this map when it had come out in a previous version, and I'll tell you, I looked for at least 5 minutes trying to figure out where on earth the cows got water until I saw this bathtub as I was literally flying around, because I literally enabled flight mode so I could get a higher up viewpoint to try to figure out where on earth the water trough was. And lo and behold, there it was right there. So that's something I want to make sure I point out. Straw here for your cattle, and I think you unload. I have to figure out where here we are. Here's where we buy our cows. So let's buy some cows, get them walking around. They appear to be strolling around perfectly fine. Alright, so here we have, looks like our handy dandy leprechaun has left us a trail of gold nuggets to pick up. And if I count these, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's all 10 nuggets that we need to reveal the rest of the nuggets on the map. I am not going to pick them up right now. We will fire up another video here after our first look, and we will call it Nugget Hunt, and we will hunt down all the nuggets on this map in that video. So let's pigs. Where are our piggies? Looks like our pigs are up here at this other farm. So here's our shop. Let's jump to the shop and find our gator. Okay, here's our gator. Let's see if we can reset the gator where it goes. Okay, the gator resets up here in grass field number 11. So let's just jump in that thing and take a look. Looks like we have another farm up here, so let's figure out how to get it rid of this grass field. Or maybe we are in grass field 12. Alright. So this is our second farm. We have free range chickens here. Here we have our pig area. So we go in here to unload our pigs. And this is a very small pig area. So you get yourself a big pig herd, and they are going to be cramped for space. Now I think in the game it limits you to, I think, maybe 25 pigs that appear. Maybe the map author can change that. Looks like we have 12, 3, 6, 9. So we have 12 pigs appearing. How many pigs do we own? A little 12. So we bought 12 pigs. Let's buy some more just for fun and see. Alright. Now we have 25 pigs. Let's see. Let's count how many we got here now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have 25 pigs, but I only count 16 animals in here. So no matter how many pigs you have at this point, you will only have 16 visible. So pig water here. Food here. Liquid manure, solid manure. Okay. So we do have a maintenance and customization shop in here. Here's one of our tractors. We saw our JCB there, standing there. Equipment storage with some equipment. Additional equipment storage there. So this is the tip point for our silo here. Okay. Here we have fuel, water, seed, liquid, and solid fertilizer. Okay. Now I do happen to know that the out for our silo system is way over here. There's our harvester, seeder. Harvest header should be somewhere around here. It's parked here around the back. Okay. So our output for our silos is way over here. So it's kind of been split up. Somehow product you dump in over there where those things are ends up over here when you pull it out. So there must be quite the underground piping system and augers to move that amount of grain around. So this is the arable farm and the pig farm. So then you have your kind of your farm down here in the southwest of the map is your cattle and sheep, your grass, needy type animals. And up here you have your pigs, where your crop needy animals are, your pigs particularly. And as such, your equipment for crop work is up here at this northeast farm, whereas the equipment you would use for grass related activities is down here at the southwest. So while we're over here, let's check out field 13 and just see what kind of prices we have on our fields. So we have 2.787 hectares, $300,000. Excuse me, $200,000. Not too bad. Not too bad there. So here we have little spotty areas of trees to harvest, rolling hills. We do have traffic on the map, as you can see. Let's go over here and check out some of these fields that we own. I have to drive around this way. So here is, this is not a grass pasture, that's our farmhouse. So here we have one of the grass fields that we own, field 10, here. You gotta be careful coming out of there because it's kind of a blind turn. Wondering how you get in field 9. Must have missed it. So again, everything appears to be fenced off. So there's one specific entrance into, what's into 9, it's into 10. It's 9 and 10 connect. Well, you must get into field 9 from the other way, maybe from the main farm. So we won't spend a ton of time looking for that. So here are some of the fields that we own. Looks like one field has a crop ready to harvest. That one probably is cultivated. Here's another field ready to harvest. So we have 2 fields ready to harvest and 3 that are simply in a cultivated state. Follow these grass tracks down to a point where we can enter the farm or enter the road. So let's go over here to town. You know, this map in general is pretty much laid out where we have a southern farm, a northern farm, and then we have in the southeast a town with all of the various sell points. Whoa, get on the road. Drive properly on the road. Alright, so I gotta remember we are driving on the wrong side of the road, at least the wrong side of the road for me. Field 16 looks like it is potatoes or sugar beets, so that should be a pretty decent harvest field. Alright, looks like the town is off here, off this little spur. So here we have the store, our equipment shop, our equipment store, where we jumped to see the gator. Here we have Main Street downtown. We have a buy point for eggs here. We have pedestrian traffic. Bus stop. this road seems to go on with respect to fields. Now we are out of town. Now, if you would happen to get lost here, you would find yourself at a dead end, and if you could not simply just turn around like I am doing, you're going to have to back your way a fair bit in order to get turned around. It would be nice if the map author had stuck a field opening back there that you could kind of turn into and get turned around and pull back out. But if you get past this point here, it looks like you're going to be in a world of backing up. Oh, that's someone's driveway. So here we are behind the church, the central church. Here we have a grass pasture that leads you out to some more fields. Looks like field 35 may be the largest field on the map. Maybe 36. We'll have to check those out here in a bit. Looks like this is where we come in to our various sell points. Let's go over here and see what we have here. This looks like wool. So this is our wool sell point here. This appears to be... This is our animal buy point. Okay, so this is where we sell our wool and buy our animals if we wish to do it that way and pick them up and drive them back to the farm. Here we have unload sell area 2 and what is accepted. Now what I noticed when looking at the map is that sell area 2, and is this sell area 1? Yes, sell area 1. Okay, so if we look at the map here, actually there are quite different set of prices here for the two sell areas. So when I was first reading the description up on the Mod Hub under the Farming Simulator website, it sounded like maybe, you know, one sell area would accept some of the grain, other sell areas would accept other crops, but it looks like both sell areas take the same thing, but often it looks like one may have a better price than the other. Sell area 2 is better price for barley, but sell area 1 seems to have a better price for most other things other than sugar beets at the moment. But it's pretty neat and it's pretty handy that they're both there close by. So here we have a sell point for logs. Right here. You have a crane that you could use if you wanted to. Let's see if this crane is functional. It is a functional crane. Okay, so it is completely functional. I personally have not used a crane before, but it appears to work. Low cost storage. So this is similar to law folds, where you can kind of store unsold crops here in an area that is close to the sell point for a small fee. Should your farm silo fill up with its maximum capacity. So that way over there is our cow barn. You can see off to the distance. So this is a very small map. You can very easily see almost everything from one end of the map to the other edge of the map. But oftentimes I kind of prefer a small map. It's easier to manage. Field work happens fairly quick. It's easy to it's easy to get bogged down in single player on the bigger maps. Into just taking forever to get something done. So what is this? Oh, okay, that's the animal buy point. I was thinking that it might also be equipment storage, but that's the animal buy point roof. So that's kind of the bulk of the map. Other than checking out specific fields, which I want to do, I want to drive over here and check out this the size of some of these fields. So this map does not have a lot of roads, so it's pretty easy once you get the lay of the land to know where you're going and how to get there. But be careful if you get lost, that you don't find yourself at the edge of the map with no room to turn around, because if you do that, you're going to be backing up quite a bit. So let's try to figure out how to get to some of these back fields. Well, there's a road over there. Okay. Alright, so we must go this way. Narrow lanes here. If you're bringing a harvester through here, you're going to be definitely pulling the header on a trailer. Alright. 4.2 hectares. .9, almost 5 for that field. Let's jump here over to field 20 and see what that one is. 3.8. So looks like field 35 is your largest field. You own field 33 back there, and it looks like there's another flat space for putting stuff. So how do you get to field 35? I think you'll spend most of your time on this map trying to figure out how to get to certain things. Because it looks like the fields have a single entry point, and it may not necessarily be the way that you're thinking it needs to go. Lots of area around the field to make these fields even bigger if you like getting closer to the fences and hedges, or if you don't like that, there's plenty of grass headland area for you to make your up and back runs and do your turns off the field, should you so wish. Alright, I'm going to shoot up here to the sheep area and see if that's how we get to field 35. It looks like there's a little road that goes that way. And then we'll call this this first impression video done. I like this map overall. I think this will be a map that I will be playing once I've kind of exhausted what I want to do on old streams. Currently playing old streams. Oh, I can't get that way. Gotta go this way. So I'm currently playing old streams. Just bought the last field, so I now own all the fields on old streams, and taking kind of a cow and sheep plan with that map, but I can see this map becoming my next small map to play. So this is how we get to field 35. Lots of changing terrain here. Definitely these fields are not on a flat terrain. So if you play with your round baler, you want to be making sure you're aware of which direction the field is going as far as the slope and whatnot, and where you're ejecting your bales. Now the hedges and the fences do have collisions, so they're not going to run and roll through the fences and things. You're going to find a bale 3 fields, west of where you are or anything, but it definitely saves you in having to, run down the bales. Alright, here we are. So we did see up here a second flat area for some placeables, should you so wish. If not, I suppose you could plow this up and make another field, a free field out of it. if you're not going to use it for anything. So, hope you all enjoyed our first impression look at Drumard Farm. We'll see you guys later. I'm about to save this video out and pull up another video, and we will have a gold nugget hunt video where we will hunt down all the gold nuggets on the map. So if you want to watch that, we'll see you here in shortly.